are we doing tonight? So nice to be here. What a lovely town. I grew up in New England, working class background. Not white trash exactly, more like white recycling. Still garbage, just cleaner. Better teeth. My dad gave me pearl of wisdom about relationships, as fathers often do. He said, marriage is the first step to divorce. First had that talk, I was 6. And my parents divorced, I was a baby. I don't remember them together. And to this day, my mom still hates on my dad. It's like, time to let it go, Mom. What kind of person do you have to be to hold a grudge for half a century, you ask? Italian, it turns out. I'm half Italian, half Polish. Which means I love pizza, but I eat the crust first. I can't help it. Just can't help it. So yeah, my mom and I, we got a tough relationship. I remember I came home to visit her one time when I was an adult, and we were fighting like we always do, and I was like, Mom, why are you always mad at me? Like, what did I do? And she said, every time I look at you, I see your father. That's my fault, Mom. I didn't fuck him, you did. Don't you think it's time you stop blaming me for your mistakes? Yeah, that one sneaks up on you. Yeah. Spoiler alert, never married, no kids, not gay. Don't let the white pants fool you. Not often I get to wear corduroys, you know? So. No, not that it matters, of course. Okay, it just seems like you gotta pick a label these days. Okay, I'm Generation X. We didn't have all the labels like kids have today. I was growing up, you were either gay, straight, or Prince. I wrote that one just for you, Minnesota. Yeah. Well, those were the only options back then. Today's vernacular, I'm a cisgender, heteronormative, pansexual, sometimes demisexual, polyamorous dude. Which I always thought was just a dude. I don't know, call me crazy. Look, I don't like to label myself because deep down inside, I think we're all the same. Like every hetero dude here, just a meth addiction away from sucking a dick. If we're being honest. Another thing about me is I'm hard of hearing. I was born that way. I wear hearing aids. Being hard of hearing, the only disability you outgrow. Not the hearing part, but the way the world treats you. Because I was a little kid running around with hearing aids. First of all, I was so cute. But they treated me special. Sat me in front of the class. I was a gifted child. Now I'm just fucking middle-aged. No one gives a shit. I'm just like every other idiot that blasted music in their headphones for 40 years. Who walks around saying what all the time. Yeah, you know, every family's got one. Right? They got the TV turned up to 100. Nobody in the house can hear. Everybody's yelling. Everybody's pissed. Yeah, you know, I'm not special anymore. Obviously, I'm not totally deaf. I'm deaf light. That's my rap name. They call me Deaf Light.
What?
My name is...
Huh?
My name is... Deaf Light. Okay, so it needs the right producer. Being hard of hearing is like having a superpower. My ability to nap, unparalleled. I challenge anybody in here to a nap off. Except you, sir. You look like you can take me. Yeah? Best part about being hard of hearing is if I get into a fight with my significant other, I just take my hearing aids out and it's over. I don't care if she gets the last word. Because it falls on deaf ears, so. It works out really well. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a person with a disability on a technicality. Yeah, I just think, I believe that all people with disabilities should be treated equally amongst ourselves. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to get the handicap spot. What, your disability is better than mine? I mean, some of the things that people get the handicap spot for. Like what, you got fibromyalgia? Can't walk a couple extra feet? Come on. Fibromyalgia is like the gluten allergy of disabilities. A lot of people think they have it, very few actually do. Yeah. I'm just saying, it seems kind of arbitrary where they draw the line. Like there's a guy at my gym that parks in the handicap spot and he's perfectly able-bodied. You should see this guy's workout. Kettlebell swings, box jumps. Finally, I asked his trainer, a friend of mine, I'm like, what is that guy's disability? Parked in the handicap spot. He said, guy's HIV positive. I said, I have AIDS. I had to say it. So I'm newly single. That's one thing the pandemic was good for. It really forced the issue for a lot of unmarried domestic partnerships, you know? Anybody else go through a breakup during quarantine? Just me, huh? We're on good terms though, Max and I, you know? We talk, we text. Sometimes we do things together, you know, just not have sex. You know, like a marriage. I know, that's a tough one. If you're out with your spouse, that's a tough one to laugh. That's a good fucking joke. I'm not the only one. I read that since the start of the quarantine in 2020, marriage rates have gone way down. And suicide rates way up. Only conclusion I can draw, when forced to cohabitate, death seems like the better option. Thank you. I mean, I don't know how else to interpret that data. Oh man, I love traveling to do comedy, especially love coming to the Midwest. People are so friendly. I was doing a show in Nebraska last week. I was talking to this guy after the show, and he was so nice. Then he profiled me as a Democrat. I was like, how dare you just assume, you know? I actually don't like to label myself Democrat or Republican because I think it shuts down dialogue, you know, we need to talk to each other. So when people ask me, you know, where I stand politically, I say I'm socially liberal, but one of my all-time favorite songs is by Kid Rock. Now that's bipartisanship right there. Oh great, I offended all the musicians in the room now. Can't win. Only God knows why, it's a great song, check it out. Great song. Yeah, so, Trump is coming after it. The walls are closing in. The walls are, I love how the room just tightens up. You bring up Trump's name. It's tough. I know, it's tough. We're going to get through it, though. Hey, look, they say that people who still follow Trump after everything, that it's like they're in a cult. I feel for them. Because I got swept up in a cult once. In LA, it's called acting class. Can happen to anyone, trust me. Can happen to anyone. Oh, man. So, how we doing tonight, ladies? Good. The first one's here, right up front. I love it. Yeah, so I turned 50 recently. I know I look like a young millennial, thanks. But people always ask me, they're like, you know, how do you stay looking so young? Like, what's your secret? And it's simple, really. Naps. And don't have kids. So you can take naps. And don't do crystal meth. That's about it. All I got for you there. But I gave myself a 50th birthday present, you know? Now that I was newly single, I took myself on vacation. I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. That's how you know I got another income stream. Any Brazilians here? Anybody ever been to Brazil? Anybody ever heard of Brazil? All right, good. Every country is like famous for something, like America. You know, we call ourselves the land of the free. Brazil, the land of ass. Honest to God. I didn't make it up. I look it up. It's like, I didn't believe it either. You can Google it. It's for real. Unbelievable. You just be walking down the street in Rio, minding your business, you just get sucker punched by butts. It's like popping out behind cars and buildings everywhere. The national anthem is a song called Bebe Dymkoski. Translates roughly to Baby Got Back. Just sharing what I learned. I'll never forget it. It's a Tuesday afternoon, I'm sitting on the beach. It was packed. Tuesday. Elbow to elbow. Ass. As far as the eye can see. And that's when I got robbed. Oh, such an easy target, aren't I? By myself. I should have been wearing a sign that said, "Stupid gringo, take my stuff." Still, best vacation ever. So, I was a Tinder superstar. 2 dozen matches on the first night. I haven't had that many matches in LA in 2 years. And it got to the point I had to do something that I could never do in LA. I had to raise my standards. Started swiping left on 7s and 8s. A friend of mine, a woman feminist, she said, "Dale, who are you to judge women's butts?" Fair question. I mean, I'm a feminist, male feminist, whatever we're calling it these days, I'm that. So I said, "Hey, I've been working in the fitness industry for 30 years. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology. I'm literally an expert on ass." She didn't think that was as funny as I did. What I'm trying to say, people, is I'm quitting comedy and I'm moving to Brazil, all right? But yeah, I've been trying to date, Been trying to swipe on those dating apps. It's hard. Sometimes I get just, I'm actually, most of it is just I'm on there for like material, What I find is that sometimes women will lead with their astrological sign. Sometimes it's the only thing they will put, their astrological sign, which is usually the sign for me to swipe left. Usually. But, every guy knows that there's a hotness threshold for women with astrology, I mean, except if you're Gemini. If you're Gemini, you automatically swipe left. Oh, great, I lost 1/12 of the audience today. Damn. Look, I live in Hollywood. If I wrote off everyone that believed in astrology, I wouldn't talk to anyone. So I've come up with a system, a foolproof method. Feel free to use it. It goes like this. They'll ask me to say, "What's your sign?" And I say Libra. Libras are the best, everyone knows that. And they go, "Oh." And I go, "Right?" And they go, "Of course." Now I've spent enough time in the Midwest, I've learned my manners. I have to ask them, "Well, what's your sign?" And they say, "Whatever," doesn't really matter what they say, because I'm going to say, "Of course you are." And they go, "I know, right?" And that is all you need to know about astrology, people. And never date a Gemini. Trust me on that one. Oh, man. So, I before I get out of here, share a quick story with you. What I want to tell you is if you have something that you want to do in your life and you haven't done it yet, do it. Do it. Because I woke up one morning a couple years ago with vision loss. It was the weirdest thing. Like I could see over here fine, but I couldn't see over here. There's a big blind spot. Terrifying, actually. So I'm already deaf. Light. I was like, sure, I'm giving Helen Keller a run for her money here. And then I was like, one more disability, and I could definitely get on America's Got Talent. Well, it turns out the vision loss was because I had a stroke. That bummed me out too. But I'm so lucky, right? I was in the hospital for 5 days. I'm not your typical stand-up comic because I have health insurance. Again, lucky, so lucky. But, you know, when that doctor came to me and said what a close call I had, I could have died. Stopped me in my tracks. And so I asked the doctor the obvious question. You think now I can get that handicap spot? What does a man have to do? Hey, thanks so much. I'm Dymkoski. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Dymkoski! Yeah, that was fun. Thank you guys. You guys are an important part of the show. Thank you again for coming out tonight. And be sure to tip your servers. It's very difficult when we're sold out, we're packed, we're oversold. And doing service during a comedy show without disrupting the show is a great talent. These guys do an amazing job, so please tip them well. You know, because they're all also orphans.